look at the man in the mirror if you want to see a change, but all that stuff is like actually facts. Like you really like if you believe it in your heart, you could really do anything. You could be a doctor if you want to. You could be a singer, a rapper.
Whole squad and that real shit. No, it's fine. I be with all the bros.
So with y'all, man, it's Bryan Runnels TV back with another video. I know I usually come into every video like with a cool vibe, like a funny vibe type, you know, like uplifting, trying to lift everybody's spirits up. But I think on this one I gotta like come like serious and I gotta come correct. So this video basically I'm just talking about like how Nipsey Hussle's like death and his passing has really affected like teenagers and like people specifically like in my age group, like how it's affected us since like his passing and his death, and how that like affects the community that, you know, he worked like really hard to, you know, just like upbring. Like I know for a fact, all right, so me and my mom, when my dad had got separated, when they got separated, we lived with my grandpa and my grandma for like 5 years. We was in Inglewood, and I just, it's way different living in like where I live now from when I lived in Inglewood, because it's just like you see so many different things. You see like, you know, sometimes you can't go outside at certain times because when you walk into the liquor store, you might, you know, someone might walk up on you and try to do something to you, or like you can't wear certain colors when you're on your way to school. You can't, like, it's just certain stuff that like inhibits your lifestyle. Like you can't, it's way different from like, say you live in Cerritos, you could almost do whatever you want. You could wear any color, you could drop some money on the floor, somebody gonna tell you, oh, you dropped your money. But compared to when I'm living in Inglewood, like people are steady trying to like do stuff to like endanger you, you know. But I still like had love for that city because like I'm originally from there. Like I was born there and I didn't even move till I was 13, 14. So it's crazy. So my perspective on it was like, I didn't really listen to Nipsey Hussle like that, like to be honest with y'all, but I know like his impact that he had on his community. Like how do you go from like being nothing and like you have your own store like in your own hood that you grew up in, you're a Grammy nominated rapper, like you have so many connections like to the fullest, and you put other people on that are lower than you, and somehow you still have haters that wanted to bring you down so much that they literally had to take your life. So I just that right there, that should show you like his impact that he had, and somebody really wants to like end your life. So from my perspective, I'm 17, you know, a minority, a black male. I'm just like, I was really saddened when I first heard that he died, because it's like, all of us like black males, we look up to people like him. That's like, he came up from some of the same communities that we lived in, but like did it in a positive way. He wasn't out here like of course he's probably done violence and stuff in his past, but he wasn't out here promoting it. Like he was giving people other ways to come up, like, oh, you're a musician, like I might be able to sign you or give you connections to come up, or, you know, you want to be a businessman, like I'll put you onto that side. And it's like we didn't really like have that in our generation. Like he was basically like another form of Tupac in a way. Not to put him on a pedestal like that high, but he had some of the same values and beliefs as him. So that's why I put him at such a prestigious level. So, and that's how I want to be like growing up as a black man. So I was just really sad by it. Like it's just crazy. Like people really like, it's so much violence in the world. Like how do you justify that? Like, oh, because I had heard from like the stories after they found the killer that like, oh, he's like Nipsey supposedly called him a snitch, but it's like, bro, like you can't accept that in your heart, so you have to like kill a man that like this man's like way more important than you. No disrespect, but I'm just saying like it's just really saddening, you know? Like I don't it's just hard to understand like why people do what they do sometimes, but it's just really sucks, honestly. But yeah, I just, you know, I respect all the things that he did like while he was alive and what he accomplished while he was alive. He was even gonna, like I heard he was gonna have a documentary on this one doctor that had like a cure for AIDS and HIV, but he couldn't even finish it yet because he got murdered. So that documentary would have been like special, because imagine they find a cure for AIDS and HIV, like, you know how much less medicine they'll have to like produce, which will low-key take away from the field in medicine and take the money away. But it's like, it's a good cause because you're helping people regain their health back. Like, who wouldn't want that except, I guess, the companies? That's why I also like believed the way he got killed was like a conspiracy theory, because maybe like the government set that up. But I don't know, everything's just hard to believe at the moment. It's like, I feel like we're all mourning. Like, even people at school still, I know some people that like just been listening to Nipsey Hussle just straight all week. Like, no other artist, just banging Nipsey like all day, all night. I can respect that. I actually like listened to a couple of his songs like deep, and he just talks about a lot of inspirational stuff, like, you know, coming from struggles of living in the inner city, which I'm actually glad my mom moved me out of the inner city, because I know that like took me away from like bad opportunities of like getting in trouble with like drugs and violence and like guns and stuff. And when I moved to a school like where I'm at now, it's just like a better environment for me, because I never really been a troublemaker, but I know like all it takes is like a little bit of peer pressure, or, you know, me to just be around the wrong crowd for something bad to happen. But I just try to keep myself out of trouble regardless, and I just try to be like a leader, like Nipsey was basically. Like he never really followed in anybody's path. He always like set the standard. I want to like set the standard and then like raise it up higher than, you know, nobody can reach, and then maybe one day somebody can raise it up higher over me. So I just like want to be the one to pass the torch, you know, because it's a lot of like followers in this world, but it's not really a lot of leaders. So if you grow up being a leader, you could really like change the world. Like, I know people just say that like as an expression, like, oh, like one man could change the world, or like look at the man in the mirror if you want to see a change. But all that stuff is like actually facts. Like, you really, like, if you believe it in your heart, you could really do anything. You could be a doctor if you want to. You could be a singer, a rapper. You could be a YouTuber in my case, which I really want to pursue. But I just got to keep going. I just got to keep grinding. I can't let anything distract me. Like, you just can't get thrown off your course, and, you know, you just got to be a leader. Because as long as I known like Nipsey as like a entertainer, like a rapper, he never like let anything people said like sway him in a direction. He always just like stood up for what he believed in. He even like said, like, even if they kill me, like, y'all gotta ride for me after, like, and we for sure are going to. That's like, of course, that's automatic. But that's what I mostly like respected him for, because he just always stood up for what he believed in. He didn't really care about what others thought. And that's how you gotta be in life. If you really like believe in something, like, you can't let anybody tell you different, like, because it's what you think. Because in the end, it's just gonna be you. Like, who can please you before you, you know? So yeah, that's just my thoughts on everything. R.I.P to Nipsey, man, for real. Like 33 years old. That's like, bro basically lived like 1/3 of his lifetime. It's like crazy to think about. Shout out to Lauren London too, because I know she probably going through it, especially like with their kids and stuff. Because it's like we didn't just lose like an entertainer, like a rapper, like a good leader, but like you also have to think about it from his wife's perspective. Like, she's losing like a husband and like a father and a teacher and like a best friend. So yeah, it was just really tragic. I just had to speak on it because I felt like, you know, I feel like a leader most of the times, even though, you know, I stay in the cut, but I'm a leader, you know. I like that title because it holds weight to it. Just like his name, you know, it'll hold weight forever. So I gotta honor him in any way I can. So I'm gonna just try to, you know, keep doing the best I can in school, just trying to be a good person in the community, trying to be a good citizen, you know. Hopefully I inspire people one day. And yeah, that's basically my thoughts on everything, man. You know, I appreciate everybody watching my channel. It's still road to 500. I'm not gonna stop, you know, no matter what happens. So as long as y'all keep supporting, I'm gonna keep going forever. It's love every time I get on here and record. It's really love. It's all coming from the heart. So yeah, much love to everybody. Bryan Runnels TV. We out.